On Christmas Eve 2008, a young girl opens the door to see Santa Claus, but it appears there's something under his outfit. She assumes that it's presents for her and the rest of her family, so she runs to give him a hug, but is instead shot in the face with a 9mm bullet. The man dressed as Santa, 45-year-old Bruce Pardo, proceeds to kill 9 of her family members and set the house on fire with a gift-wrapped flamethrower. Bruce's divorce had been finalized 1 week before the massacre, and the house he burned down was where his ex-wife and her family were celebrating Christmas. He had no criminal record and no past history of violence, and following the attack, Bruce drove to his brother's house and took his own life. I've done the full breakdown of the case here, and it is haunting.
Do not watch this video unless you have a very strong stomach. This case is truly sickening. On August the 31st, 2019, Margaret Sumney was unreachable. Her family knew something was wrong. They tried and failed to get hold of her for 2 days before notifying police to ask them to do a welfare check. When police went to her house in Pennsylvania, what they discovered was horrifying. They found shattered glass all over the floor and blood smeared on the walls. They found the 67-year-old's body in the bath. She'd been beaten to death. The autopsy revealed that she died from blunt force trauma to the head. Police interviewed her son David, who initially denied having anything to do with her death. However, police searched his phone and found absolutely disgusting images. They uncovered 277 sickening pictures, including selfies of David with her body, his face smeared in her blood, and doing a thumbs up pose. Police also discovered that David was in possession of his mum's jewellery and several blank cheques. He also had a record of previously assaulting his mother twice and attacking his now deceased father once. The same year as his mum's murder, he allegedly waterboarded and strangled his ex-girlfriend in an Atlantic City hotel. It's reported, though, that he just slipped through the cracks in the police databases, allowing him to go on to offend again. He was soon arrested, and it was found that when he'd committed the murder of his mother, he'd taken a large amount of Adderall. His defense argued that he had diminished responsibility due to his substance and alcohol use. Originally, he was facing charges of first-degree murder and abuse of a corpse. However, due to a legal loophole, he entered a guilty plea, so he would only be charged with third-degree murder. He was sentenced to 20 to 40 years in prison. Terrifyingly, as he's now been in prison since 2019, and due to his good behaviour behind bars, he could be released in just 17 years.
Craziest crimes of all time, Part 1. Travis Clark, a priest at a Catholic church in Louisiana, was recently arrested on charges of vandalism. And by vandalism, I mean that he did it with 2 dominatrixes on top of the altar. And according to recent reports, the altar has since been burned by the church. At least they were adults. William Dennis Bradley, a meth addict, murdered a man, and when arrested, told authorities that he had just killed the Terminator, and that they should be grateful. A Florida man was arrested for throwing an alligator through a Wendy's drive-through window. You know, I actually have a joke for this one, but it's kind of corny. See you later, alligator! A woman in Texas was arrested after trying to buy a mother's infant child for $500,000 in a Walmart checkout line. $500,000? Are you kidding me? Thank God my parents were offered... Hello? Hey mom, what's up? You have to tell me something? Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Some creepy shit you will see on a Ring camera. I'm so glad I have mine.
I've been ghost hunting for the last 10 years. Sometimes things happen that you can't fully explain. This journey that I'm on is for knowledge, not for fame, and we've put ourselves on the line many times in the quest to get those answers. I've made a lot of friends along the way, and worked with some of the world's most renowned paranormal experts, but sometimes things happen that still scare me. I didn't realize what was going to happen that night. I didn't fully understand what we were dealing with, but it turns out it was darker and more powerful than we could have imagined. And it still scares me.
I'd like to welcome you all officially to the West Virginia State Penitentiary.
So this is where the electric chair would have been?
Yes. He partially castrated himself in there. His head exploded like a pumpkin. That's a good start for your night there. That was the room that was known more infamously as the Sugar Shack. They take his severed head, set it up in the window.
Tonight on the Paranormal Files, we're at one of the most violent places in America. This is a historic prison with an extremely bloody past.
Are you in front of us? We'd love to have you come and talk to us. Oh, look at that. It's like it's climbing the fence.
Oh, I feel like cold, dude.
Locked. All right, down to the hole.
Let's do it.